Prior to Ammar's presentation, we would like to run a short video that shows what has happened to his hometown in Syria and to honor those that have died.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. Thank you so much, John, for the great introduction at the beginning of the service. I couldn't have done it better than the way you did. And I really like the fact that you said was a Syrian refugee. It really made my day. Thank you so much. Oh, and I would also like to thank the Fufon community for sponsoring me here to Canada. And a special thank you to the sponsor committee, who were more than a family to me and invested a lot of time and energy just to make me feel at home and settled. I would also like to thank Andy Blair, the person who, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be able to come here, the one who fought for me to be here in Canada. To Sabine Lair, she all for taking me in the Intercultural Society of Greater Victoria. And I would also would like to thank my friends, Danny, Paul, and Edward, for standing right next to me and supporting me through my whole journey. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be able to be here, honestly. And I would also, I'd like to thank my brothers and my sister for chipping in to collect enough money for me to leave Syria. My mom, who was the whole mind behind it, the one who arranged for the whole process. And my father, who actually once saved our life. And this is, I'm going to start my first story with how my father saved our lives. So our house was really close to a Syrian army stopping point. There was always a conflict during the weekends. Usually the conflict is for about like 10 minutes or something like that. But that night was different because the FSA, Free Syrian Army, just threw like a bomb or something, and then they disappeared. And we knew that there was something wrong because there was no conflict. And then an hour after that, they started shooting at each other. But the Syrian army was ready for them. So there were tanks in the neighborhoods, and the tanks were wandering around in the neighborhood, and this is when the conflict started. It was really long. It took like about 2 hours, and then bullets start coming in the house. So we decided to hide behind a wall, and it was me, my mom, my brothers hiding behind the wall. My father was like, "Okay, so what's the worst that could happen?" And he wanted to he had to use an eardrop, so he went into the bedroom and he laid on the bed, and he started dropping his eyes, and then the phone rings. My father gets up to pick up the phone, and it was my uncle calling to see if everything is okay. And this is when we heard uh, an explosion. This is when we heard that something was broken, and then the room lit on fire. So we were behind this wall, and the missile hit the pillow where my father was laying his bed on. So if it wasn't for the phone call, my father wouldn't have been alive right now. Um, then my father did something. I don't know if it was courageous or something. He had like a huge strength that he could like lift the mattress by himself. It was on fire. He lifted it and threw it away, so it won't. So not the. So he could stop the fire, and it worked. And then after it settled, my father started laughing, and he was like, "You know what happened today?" And he went, "Yeah, a missile got into the room and it got on fire and stuff." I was like, "No, actually, a poor lady came into the clinic. My father's a dentist." So he was like, "A poor lady came into the clinic, and she was like, I can't pay you. I don't have enough money to pay you." My father was a really good person. He didn't care about the money. He didn't care about anything but to make other people happy. So it was like, it's okay. So he treated her without taking any money. And this is when she was like, may God have mercy on you and your family. And that was the morning and the same day. So he was like, apparently God just responded to her prayer. He did have mercy on us. And yeah, I had some pictures that I wanted to share about the room, but I couldn't find them because in Syria you move a lot, and you're not allowed to have pictures of destructions and stuff. And so the first thing you need to do is to format your laptop, format your phone whenever you move. So I couldn't really get the pictures; they're gone. And this is where I decided I had a backup plan. I'm gonna show you some pictures and of my family. And what I want you to see is the house. I want you to look at the background. I want you to see how the house looked like before, and I'll tell you why after that. So Tony, if you please. This is a picture of me of my family. Well, don't judge. The camera was too old. And yeah, uh, this is a picture of a birthday at the backyard of my grandfather's house. My uncle, my little brother. I know he's a cutie, but now he's a boxer. So my sister and my youngest brother, that was in my backyard and our house back in Syria. My sister and my mom. Again, my sister and my brother. This was actually the room that got on fire, but I don't have pictures of that. So yeah, my sister is making pasta, which my fathers don't like. This is my father's face knowing that we're making pasta for dinner. And this is the big family at Eid. Again, like just imagine the background and the place. And next that we will be I will be showing you a video next uh, about how the house looks like right now. This is what is left. This is the kitchen, the entrance. There was a wall in here and that was like a bedroom. That was the living room that we took the picture at. It was much worse before. This is pictures after it got cleaned, because the original pictures were like deleted because what I explained. Okay, I guess that's enough. Thank you, Tony. Thank you. So now that you have an idea about what life was like before and what it looks like right now, and you know, the house where we grew up and we were having fun is now nothing. I'm gonna move to my next story. So a lot of things happen, a lot of miracles happen. I'm really sad that I don't have enough time to share a lot of stories with you, but I'm going to share this one. So it's time for me to leave to Turkey. I decided to that's it. I'm leaving Syria, and I want to find a safe life and better life. And so the cab was waiting downstairs and I was hugging my family. It was the first time that I saw my father crying, and he hugged me as if he didn't want to let go. And it was very hard. So I started thinking maybe I should just risk it and stay here. I really didn't want to break my father's heart. But then I thought I did it for them actually, because the only way to survive in Syria is to have somebody from your family who is living outside that can help you and support you financially. So I moved from Damascus to Aleppo to a city right next to the Syrian border. And then this is where, to Idlib, where the smuggler was. So he picked me up. It was Ramadan and I was fasting that day, I remember. And then it's iftar, which is the breakfast in Ramadan. And he was like, would you like to break the fast with us? And I was like, yeah, sure, why not? So we sat and we started eating, and I really couldn't eat. I only had like a piece of bread, and I felt very, very, very uncomfortable. The area was under fire, and they were like, I don't know, like I don't know if it was the FSA or Jabhat al-Nusra, but there were like people with weapons over there. So I really didn't feel comfortable. And then he said, there's a group of people who are leaving tonight. Would you like to join them? I was really, really tired for traveling for like almost 24 hours. But again, I looked around and I saw this is not an environment where I want to stay. So I was like, I will. Yes, I will. So an hour after that, I met with a group of guys. I didn't know them. They knew each other because they tried multiple times to get to Turkey. I just didn't know them. So we got into a van and they started explaining to us that you have to jump from the van while it's still moving, because they didn't want again, armed people to know. So we did that. We jumped from the van and then we started walking. It was really, really dark that night. And we were trying to get to Turkey, crossing the mountains on foot, on our feet. And the only thing you could see was the legs of the person right in front of you. So it was hard, but it was okay. And when we started getting closer to Turkey, this is when the leader was like, it's going to be hard right now. This is the serious point. If we got caught by the Turkish army, or if we got caught, some of us may make it, some of us might be caught. So this is all on you now. So they had a plan. They knew each other, but I didn't know them, so I didn't really know their plan. So the Turkish army found us, and they started shooting, blah blahing something in Turkish, and then they sent the dogs after us. And I didn't know what to do, so I looked around me, and I was alone. I didn't know where they go. Like, they just disappear. And I found myself alone and in the forest, being followed by the Turkish army and their dogs. And I really didn't know what to do. The only thing that I was thinking about, it's so much easier for me to just turn myself in, and they will just send me back to Syria. And I don't know, maybe I can try again. But then I also thought, it's now or nothing. So I made it that far, so I might as well just try. And this is when I heard the prayer. I heard the sound of prayer in the morning, and I knew I'm really close. I knew there's a mosque somewhere in here. So I ran. Again, my brain was like, turn yourself in, but my legs were doing the right thing. So I ran and ran. I started seeing lights, so I knew, I'm getting closer. So I was really tired. I didn't eat anything. I was really dehydrated. I was literally gonna faint. But then all I thought about, it's now or never. I made it that far. I can't just quit now. So I kept on running and running and running until I got into the pavement. And this is when I knew, oh, I'm Turkey now. And I hid in a building, and I was waiting for the Turkish army to trying to lose them. And then this is when I knew, oh my God, I'm in Turkey, but I don't know anybody. So what's next? What am I supposed to do? I don't have a phone. Well, I did have a phone. I didn't have a SIM card. So I thought the next step would be like finding somebody with a phone that I can just use to call my friends in a city that isn't, I think it was not that far. But this is the only person that I knew in this area. So what am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to get a phone? I decided to go into the mosque and look for some people to help me with the phone. But it was too early in the morning. So I tried to talk to somebody who was on the balcony, but then when he saw the way that I looked, he just scared and he went out and he locked his window as if I'm gonna like break in or something. So, and then this is when I heard, I don't know if you guys know about, but there's a guy in Ramadan who would knock on the drum to wake people for suhoor, which is the meal without we start the fast. I heard him coming and I was really scared. I didn't know what to do. Should I try to talk to him? Is he going to turn me in? I don't know. But then I thought, you know what? I really had nothing to lose, right? So I went there and I was like, hello, can you help me? And I was like, what? Can I use your phone? I was speaking in English. I was like, oh. I really didn't know what I was thinking, because if this guy spoke English, he wouldn't be knocking on the drums, wandering on the street that night, waking people up for food. So I tried to communicate with him in sign language and it worked. He was like, follow me. Well, he said in Turkish, but I understood. And somehow, I don't know. And he took me to a house where person with his wife and two kids were there, and I knew they had a fight. This is, you don't need Turkish to know that they were fighting over me. And this is when the guy and then the owner of the house got really scared. I didn't know how I looked like, right? Because I didn't know why people were too scared. But then when I look at at myself, my pants were torn and I was bleeding. There was a cut on my thigh and it was bleeding. I really had no idea when I got that. I had no idea how. I didn't even feel it. I just look at it and I saw it. And then the guy felt sorry for me and he was like, are you hungry? And I was like, please. So he put some cheese and watermelon and stuff. And I ate, and he was like, don't worry, I'm gonna help you to find, they knew some Arabic. Don't worry, I'm gonna help you to get in touch with your friends. And then this is when he gave me his shorts. He was like, just throw your pants away and just go fresh up and wear the shorts and stuff. So I did it, and he was like, go to sleep now, and we'll see what to do in the morning. So I went to sleep, and while I was sleeping, a stranger was done. I was really scared that morning, that day, because I asked him to use the phone, and he said that he doesn't have a phone. So I was like, that's really weird. Like, just let me use the phone. He wouldn't let me use the phone. So I woke up in the morning and there was a stranger standing right next to my face. And he was like, you want to go to Hatay? And I was like, yes. And he was like, well, you have to pay me $200. And I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, you have to pay me $200. And I was like, but I only have $1,500. And he was like, well, it won't work. Like, okay, I'll pay. I didn't have a choice, right? I didn't even know where I was. So I paid him $200, and he was like, get ready. After the Friday prayer, we have like a short period of time, like 10 minutes period of time where the cops will be busy. So we only have really this period, and that's it, to leave. So I was like, okay. I got ready, and he helped me for, again, $200. And then he let me use his phone to call my friend who lived in Hatay. And I called my friend, and he was like, he didn't believe that I was there. And he was like, you're joking, right? And I was like, no, I swear this is not the time where I joke. I really need your help. I really need you to come and pick me up. I don't know anybody else. And he was like, okay, where are you? And then I gave him my location, and yes, he came and picked me up. So this is how I got to Turkey. And then when my plan was to get to Turkey, try to use the boat to get to Germany, like risk the life and go through the sea. Then I met somebody who made me think twice about that. And he made me think that there are other alternatives. One of them, to try to get to the UNHCR. It's so much easier to get to a foreign country as legally than to get there illegally and claim asylum. So he was right. So I started thinking about his words. And then I decided to at least try. So I tried to communicate with the UNHCR. There was a whole long process. It took like over 8 months to get in touch with them. But anyway, at the end, I found a way to get to the UNHCR, which was not easy for Syrian person in Turkey specifically. So I got in touch with them, and they were like, where would you like to go? Blah, blah, blah. I was like, I would like to go into like a English speaking country, if that's possible, because I don't want to waste 2 years of my life learning a different language. I already lost 10 years of my life in the war. So they were like, okay, she was really helpful and she was really trying to help. But then the next step was to be interviewed by the Turkish government to get a permit from the government to leave. So the UNHCR needed the Turkish permission so they can go with the process. We waited for this permission for like about 5 to 6 months, but I didn't hear anything from them. So this is when the UNHCR communicated me, and they were like, did you hear anything from them? And I said, no. And they're like, well, maybe if you want to go to Canada, there is a private sponsorship program in Canada. Maybe you should try. And I was like, how? And they told me, why don't you just research and see how things go? And yeah, I did. I did some research, and all I had to do is to write an email and start sending the emails to the sponsorship agreement holders. And I wrote an email. Again, that person really pushed me to do it because after everything I've been through, I was not optimistic. I never thought that this thing would happen, but then he was like, try. You have to try. So I wrote the email and I sent the email to the sponsorship agreement holders. The first email I sent, I didn't get any sponsors. Like all all of them responded that we don't have a spot or something like that. But then at the end, I was lucky that Andy Blair read my email and he believed in me and he thought that I would be a good Canadian. So he fought for me to be here in Canada. And for that, I'm really thankful to him. So, and yeah, it worked. Again, there's a whole process. There's a whole process for everything that happened in Turkey, but I don't have enough time to share that with you right now. But I just the whole reason why I'm here is I wanted you guys to understand. Oh, when I got here in Canada, I was surprised that nobody knows about this program. And I just wanted you to know that if you really want to change somebody's life, then you can. And it's not that complicated. You can change a refugee life and bring him here to Canada through this program, through the private sponsorship program. Well, since my time is almost up, I just wanted to finish with a story with my mom. My mom always used to tell me, do you miss home? But my answer was like, is always like, no, I don't. I miss the streets well, not where I grew up. I didn't grow up in the streets. I miss the street where I used to hang out with my friends. I miss my schools. I miss the memory of it. But all that is gone now. So no, mom, I'm sorry. There's no home left for me to miss. But now all I can say is I'm really proud of saying that. And I'm really happy that I could say Canada now is my new and only home. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ammar, for sharing part of your journey with us this morning.
Thank you.
We would be one as now we join in singing. show to all a new community. We would be one in building for tomorrow, a nobler world than we have known today. We would be one in searching for that meaning which bends our hearts and points us on our way. As one we pledge ourselves to greater service, with love and justice strive to make us free.
Our closing words this morning are by Joanne Raptis. Be like a tree. Stay grounded. Connect with your roots. Turn over a new leaf. Bend before you break. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
And now you're all invited to switch to gallery view and imagine we are all standing in a big circle, holding hands, and we will sing our closing song, Carry the Flame of Peace and Love, until we meet again. Then we shall see a world of light and a world of joy. Carry the flame of peace and love until we meet again. Carry the flame of peace and love until we meet again. Then we will see a world